Hey, thanks for joining us on Cha with Laura and Leah. Cha is a podcast and video series of us just having tea with our friends. Cha, as you probably know, means tea in many languages, including our language of Korean. We are two diasporic Koreans that are inspired by that quote that I think many of us have heard by Nina Simone, which paraphrased is that the role of the artist is to reflect the times. And so we are inviting our friends over for tea to talk about our values, our art, our creativity, our dreams for the world that we are all envisioning and imagining and co-creating. And, Cha is our offering to the collective to invite you in and to hopefully serve as inspiration for you to then go on and hold your own in-person conversations. Virtual is beautiful. We are here right now virtually, and this is a gift. And also, there is a particular magic that is generated when we are literally sharing space and air and tea together. So, brew a pot for yourself, join in, and we're so grateful to be connected to you.
Hello to the beautiful community of Cha with Laura and Leah. I am your co-host, Laura Chung. And with all full transparency, Leah and I have contributed our own funds to season 1 and season 2. We've paid for the production and all of the editors ourselves. And now we are moving into the next phase of filming season 3, and we are starting to fundraise for that. In lieu of sponsorships where we would have to read out ads during our podcast and video series, we wanted to reach out to our community first to support us so that you are part of the co-creation process. We are raising $1,000 to cover the cost of the studio in Los Angeles and all of our editors who help us make this possible. Thank you so much for your support, and we appreciate everything. Everything is linked down below for you to learn more. Bye.
Cheers to Cha. Cha cheers. Cha cheers. It's probably.
Cha cha cha.
Cha cha cha.
All right. Yeah, we're here. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to be together in person. We had some failed attempts.
We did?
Was it my fault?
No, I don't think so. The weather gods.
Oh.
The weather gods. There was something where it was really about going to happen, and then it had to be canceled. But we're here, and thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. Do I hold this, or do I just?
No, I think it's good. I think it's fine. The mics are really strong. Yeah, the mics are really strong.
Do you like being go by Rohan or Firebird?
I take both.
Okay, because I really like the Firebird. I was like, we were just talking about how I want to have a new name.
That's right.
As you should.
As a radical name.
I love it.
I have to think about
Well, and you were saying like there are a lot of people who you're like, wait, this isn't your real name?
Yeah, I didn't get the memo that there's so many radical activists who don't actually have their real name on social media. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm out here just giving out my birthday.
Posting your passport, basically, a picture of your passport.
Just another security measure, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Personal safety measure, I'm sure, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I didn't know that either. I don't use my married surname because it's so long compared to Kim. So that's just why I use my maiden. Kim is so easy, No one's like, how do you spell that?
Right, yeah. But also because maybe we're newer to the activism space or whatever that really means.
Whatever that means.
Yeah. What does that? Well, tell us about your beginnings and.
Oh my gosh. Activist beginnings. Honestly, I'm gonna. She will probably like what, but I will give a shout out to my mother. Although I don't think she would call herself an activist, but I mean, just the fact that she made sure that, my siblings and I, we were involved in a lot of the Asian community growing up, as well as the Black community. The fact that my mother introduced like Black classical music and stuff, and all those things kind of like the foundation for a lot of my organizing today. But I think after that, like the biggest, I guess, next entry point to organizing would probably be my time at my alma mater in Chicago, which
At your PWI.
my PWI PWI trauma. Here we go.
What's PWI?
Primarily white institution.
Oh, I didn't know that. PWI.
I know because I had kids who are in a PWI. Yeah, and that you're just like, oh, how do I keep them safe in this
environment?
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, there was. I found myself really trying to find like where I fit in community at college, because it was always like, well, I don't really fit in the Black community because I'm queer. I don't fit in the queer community because I'm not white, and I don't fit in the Asian community because I'm Black. But anti-Blackness was still much more of like a dialogue in the Asian community when I was in school. So I feel like people were more like working on being accepting towards especially mixed race people. But yeah, there was like I think my junior year, there was a point in time where we like literally organized like an Asian pride rally. So it was like in response to some anti-Asian hate violence that was happening on campus, which was not 2020. It was like 2012.
Yeah, because it's been happening for always.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
It's the 18th century.
Yeah.
Even before that, I'm sure.
I mean, so it was really baked into your identity.
Yeah.
Right? Just
Yeah.
like activism, I mean, it's just activism is just kind of a word, but caring about these issues is baked into your identity. And do you want to share all your many beautiful mixes, which we actually just talked about before, but
Sure. So both my parents, one's from the States, but she has Barbadian and Trinidadian roots. And then my father was born in Jamaica, but ethnicity-wise, they're both Chinese. They're both Irish. I also get Scottish from my mother and Filipina from my mother. And then on my father's side, I do have some Cuban. And according to my grandmother, there's also Indian. According to my aunt, there's not Indian on that side. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna a little disclaimer: lost due to colonization.
yes. yeah.
Other.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I love that you're very proud Blasian.
Yeah.
Right, because you don't just claim that you're Black, but you're Asian as well. And my best friend's kids are Blasian. They're so cute, and I want to send them your profile because I want them to have somebody to look up to.
Yeah.
And I found you probably just recently, but what was it like having BLM and then right after that, Stop Asian Hate movements back to back?
That is a great question. I think for me, it was. I know, right? How do I say it?
I feel like studying history, right, especially the 60s, I feel like they had more solidarity, especially with like the Black Panther movement,
Absolutely,
right? But
absolutely.
it seemed like these movements were separated a little bit. It was like a demarcation of this is like just Asian hate. So I don't know. I was just curious about your experience.
Yeah. So 1000% that, and it's really due to the institution of the model minority myth. What's his name? Some white guy, William Peterson. Yes.
Why always a white guy?
It's always a white guy. I'm like, damn.
Doesn't mean we hate white people, by the way.
No, we're just saying this is just factual.
It's just facts.
So he instituted the idea of model minority. He wrote the idea, I believe, in the New York Times Magazine, and was right after the wave of survivors of the internment of Japanese Americans who then joined the Black Liberation Movement. So like for me, I've perceived that as like a key point in starting these sort of like separation of Black and Asian communities, because you also saw an influx of Asian groups who did not have this solidarity history, who are only coming in learning the model minority myth.
Yes.
Who are learning that Black people are dangerous.
It's very Koreans, I think, really, that was like the wave of Korean immigrants went into that.
Right. So, which is, of course, due in place mostly to the Korean War and U.S. once again being careless and ruining everything.
Sorry, we have to laugh.
I know, you have to laugh
This
to not throw things.
smash the patriarchy. No, and that's exactly where that sort of division, specifically with the Korean community, because then we fast forward and we see how the Korean diaspora, especially on the West Coast, was not allowed into white neighborhoods in cities like Los Angeles. And all that tension leads up to the LA uprisings, the LA riots.
Yeah.
And that becomes the sort of like story that white supremacy fixates on, is that traumatic violence and not the history that put us in that situation in the first place. Yeah. There's a great article by Soleil Yu on Mochi Magazine, and she writes about this like history of how basically this whole riot was built by white supremacy. It was engineered by white supremacy and U.S. imperialism. So truly, there's not really, I mean, if we're only focusing on East Asian like history, not the solidarities that came up during the Patriot Act post 9/11, but 2020 was a time period where that sort of like artificially created tension came back. Yeah. Because, you know, we all saw in the media how so many times if you ever saw like a moment of anti-Asian violence, perpetrator was black.
I know.
Man.
I even had friends, Asian friends, tell me that.
Yeah.
During like the peak when what they said, like the hate crimes against Asians had increased by, do you remember it was like over 300%?
Yeah.
I just remember that statistic. And so everybody was talking about it. But I remember like several of my Asian friends were like, oh, it's always black people who are harming Asians. I was like, no, it's not. Like,
it's not. It really
like
never was.
It's not.
That's what they're showing us.
Yeah, I'm like, that's what, like, if you're watching only mainstream media and just not thinking critically about anything. But it was like a drop back into that trauma. Like, because a seed of that had been planted already.
Exactly.
Sorry about the dog.
No, you love. Hi, baby.
She's emotionally supported.
I guess I maybe and she's just like, oh, let me heal your trauma. No, but yeah, like it was you were saying it was reignited
by the media once again, because I forgot to mention this, but if we look at the documentary Asian Americans by PBS, there was actually a lot of media dictating the tensions between Black and Asian communities in Los Angeles. So of course, you know, a lot of Korean groups already with a home culture of anti-Blackness or like colorism enter this media and culture where we see Black people as the villains, as dangerous, as drug addicts. Meanwhile, this documentary, if I'm remembering it correctly, showed how like Black people were getting false narratives from the media about how Koreans are taking their jobs. Yeah. Which just sound very familiar these days. So we see that sort of like using media with a very controlled narrative to take control and to create this chaos. So like the Virulent Hate Project out of the University of Michigan did a study, and during 2020, they found that 89.6% of anti-Asian violence came from white people.
Always.
Yes. Yeah. And yet, so we literally were seeing how, as Asians were being scapegoated for COVID-19, and Black people were being scapegoated for white criminality. And as a mixed race Black person, it was so much fun being in the middle.
I know. What do you feel that in your being?
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, you are a performer, right? You're an actor, dancer.
I play trumpet. I'm also a writer.
So, I mean, your art, I would imagine, is a place of processing that.
Oh yeah. I write so much science fiction, fantasy, where it's like Black Asian queer romance, or like. So if there are any
now you're speaking Laura's language. with the literature,
I'm writing a fantasy fiction right now. Yeah.
Oh, we gotta talk more after this.
Yeah.
But to any of you book agents out there listening to this podcast,
yes, that's what. We need to create a literary agency, a radical literary agency.
Ooh,
planting the seeds,
manifesting.
Yes.
Manifesting.
Yeah.
You know, it was always fascinating because here in New York, you know, BLM was, as you all saw, was exploding over the city, and that's actually where Blasian March, my organization, kind of started. And I think because we were focused on Black Asian solidarity, we didn't get really a lot of attention in the BLM spaces. I think a lot of folks looked over us a lot of times. But then when Stop Asian Hate kind of got more mainstream attention, all of a sudden we were able to transition smoothly between movements. And that's when we got a lot more news coverage. And of course that turned into a lot of backlash from some orgs on the BLM side. But yeah,
I see that happening now with the Palestinian movement.
Yeah.
What? And I don't know if it's because people can't handle that multiple people and identities can become in solidarity together, and it's not taking away from your movement, but it's we're all interconnected. Our liberation is tied. Is that like what happens? Do you think?
I think so. I think to a degree it was that. And it also, once again, we've all been conditioned to see each other as the other. Whereas, I mean, I will say in this instance...
Excuse me.
It kind of was a blessing to have two mixed-race Black Asian parents who already knew... Well, on my dad's side, in Jamaica, it's normal to be mixed-race. It's... Everyone in the city is mixed. I mean, I remember being told, I have no idea if this is like contemporary Jamaican culture, but I was told like by my grandmother, other folks, like looking Chinese was actually like a beauty mark.
Really?
Yeah. So I was like, oh, I didn't get that.
Oh yeah, I kind of see it in your eyes.
Thanks.
I mean, modern Jamaican culture, I'm not sure about, but, and of course, yeah, so like, it was almost like I already had this like heritage I was brought to be proud of. Which clashed completely with this, you know, U.S. Black American narrative of like Asians are the other, Asians are the enemy because they're white adjacent. We don't trust Asians.
Yeah.
But I'm like, but I'm Asian.
I think so much that a lot of the world's problems, at least with regards to white supremacy and racism, will be answered by more mixed race humans being born and like being raised to just like honor their whole selves, you know. I just because like when you embody all these differences, like you naturally speak for it, and you speak for others that are like that. And but I understand the whole not fear or like mistrust of Asians as having been given the role of model minority myth. And I used to think that was good, by the way. Growing up, I was like, oh, obviously I want to be the model minority, because I didn't, I didn't know really what its function was within the system. And because I was raised by immigrant parents who were like instilled, not explicitly, but more implicitly instilled that like fear of don't rock the boat, like don't get in trouble, be the good one, like assimilate, all of that. So naturally then I would look for what the opposite representation of that would be in like media or the whatever. So I understand now, knowing more and seeing it from like a wider view, why the Black American view would have been that.
Right. And I mean, I do feel like you said, honoring who we are as mixed-race people is so important, but at the same time, I don't think it's our responsibility to heal monoracial people.
Yeah, like, of course.
That is a different journey and struggle. I mean, I have chosen to do this bridging work, which is a lot. Obviously within the Asian community, there's so much anti-Blackness. I still have to deal with that all the time. To the point where I sometimes have to bow out of Asian spaces where I'm like, this is not working for me. But then like simultaneously within the Black community, I feel like, this is my personal experience, but the amount of verbal interactions I've had with some people has definitely instilled in it has instilled in me the understanding that because I am Asian, I am somehow perceived as less Black, so there's...
Like you're not Black enough.
Right. And it is what it is, so...
Has that changed, like, over the last, 5-10 years in your experience, or...?
I think with some groups it's definitely changed. And I definitely will say out loud, it's the millennials where I mostly see this issue.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, millennials...
Oh, the issue.
Yeah. Because I feel like millennials, we grew up with the LA riots as our legacy of Black-Asian relations, whereas, like, the elders have all that history leading up.
Right.
And then Gen Z, they have the internet. So they've been able to, like, look all this stuff up. Like, I
Interesting.
So younger folks are much more interested in solidarity work.
Yeah.
Elders are like, well, we lived it.
Yeah.
It's, for some reason, it's the millennials that I think need the most work right now. But of course, that's just a generalization. I should
No, but it's something that you've observed.
It's something I definitely observed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm also observing that, like, because I was so pushed out of New York's organizing spaces, I've had to, like, reimagine, one, how to organize here, but two, like, taking Blasian March to different cities and different countries has been so rewarding. So maybe being the outcast wasn't such a bad thing.
Yeah.
Where have you brought it? What other cities?
Yeah, so far in the States, we have organized here in New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Sacramento, New Haven. We did this amazing, incredible book fair in Orlando last year, which was a doozy.
Wow, that's risky.
Yeah.
Because aren't books banned there?
Yeah.
All books are banned there, Laura.
So
All the books are banned.
Literally.
I believe it's called Orange County, but where Orlando is placed, there are 700 banned books.
Wow.
Yeah, and so I was like, all right, I have this amount of money. I'm working with Kizzy's Books and More, which is a Black woman-owned bookstore down there. And I was like, I found this list of banned Black and Asian literature. I'm buying all of it through you. So, of course, we're going to have to, like, be subtle. You know, take a lesson from the elders. Be subtle sometimes.
Yeah.
Be subtle in how we organize.
We were just talking. Somebody else was talking about that. Yeah, sometimes you do need to be.
You need to be subtle sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
To be covert.
Yeah, which is really opposite to like this social media kind of everybody has a presence, everybody is, you know, has followers or whatever. It's like really opposite to that.
Right. So yeah, it's not going to be sexy, flashy, but we gave out books to like over 200 people.
How does the book ban work then? You are allowed, so that bookstore is allowed to order books even if they're banned?
Yes, so they are banned from public schooling spaces.
Okay, just from like the public schooling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, private sector they can't control.
So what about public libraries? They ban them from there too?
I believe so as well, or there's pressure to take them off the library.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you roll up with your books and you offer them for free.
For free.
I mean, that's beautiful.
Like,
yeah.
Yes.
After my own heart. So beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the book fair kind of came out of the fact that, or the observation that, you know, the protests were kind of like dying down and our Blasian March numbers were kind of dwindling and hi.
So
Hi,
ridiculous.
And I kind of took a leaf from some of Angela Davis's thoughts about when numbers die down, go more into the democratic electoral process. And I was like, well, I'm not really that big an election organizer, so what brings me joy? And how can I bring that joy into the space? And I love to read. I love to write. So I was like, let's just do a book fair.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. And I try to emphasize free as much as I can because, one, both of our communities are economically struggling.
Yeah. Which is what people don't know about Asians. People think like all Asians are rich.
Right.
Like everyone thinks like, oh, and it's just... No, oh my God, this dog is just literally like,
Love
I
you.
know. Kinley, off, stop it.
She's not usually like that.
No, she's usually, no, this is like a lot.
She sleeps right
Yeah,
there.
this is a lot. She like she kind of pretended and stopped with you. And then she's like, boo. Notice she doesn't try to come to me at all because she knows she's getting nothing. She's like, yeah.
I believe 1 in 4 Asian Americans are low income and live below the poverty line in New York State.
Right. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people.
It's a lot. But I think that's one of the harms of
the model minority
Absolutely.
myth to the quote model minority.
Absolutely,
You know,
because our systems think, oh, because you have money, we don't need to invest in your communities.
Yes.
But Asian Americans, like between 2010 2014 nationwide, I was the only group that had any like major increase in HIV infection rates. And it's all because systemic just inequities, lack of investment is culturally sensitive in our communities. Here in New York City in 2020, Asian Americans were the only group that had an increase in HIV infection rates as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because sex is also very taboo in
Right,
Asian
right.
culture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then on top of that, when you have a system that does not cater to these cultures, is not language accessible.
Yeah.
That was the fault of colonization. Not that it was good in general, but like you go to these far east countries and you have no idea what the culture is, right?
Right.
And then you colonize their countries and then they have to come here. It's like, what do they think?
Right. You displaced us.
You displaced us. And then it's like, and also the fact that people, when they think of Asia, they only think of East Asians, which is not the case either. We're
Right.
like, how many? 5 billion people?
Right.
Is it that much?
Maybe
There's like a billion
It's
alone in China.
yeah, and a billion in India. And a billion, yeah, I think it's a billion in India, right? 2, 3, yeah. So it's got to be maybe like at least 3 billion.
I believe
know.
India is now the most populated country.
Yeah,
Yes.
and that's after it's been colonized and split too.
Right,
It'd be even bigger
right,
otherwise, which
right.
is what I think colonizers saw. They're like, oh my God, we need to like chop up all these, these people and these lands because they'll be more powerful.
Separated.
It's a version of that happens with like model minority myth,
Yep.
anti-blackness,
Yep.
all of that within the context of like immigrants, like the divide and conquer is still happening
Absolutely.
here, right?
What they experiment on in the quote-unquote Orient, to borrow Edward Said's language, they then refine and bring to the Occident, to bring to people here.
Yeah.
It's just, yes.
It is a playbook that they're
It's a playbook,
constantly following
Exactly.
that shape shifts and
Yeah. Adapts and refines itself.
it's
I know.
it's like it's mad and yeah, I'm like
so serious.
yeah.
Leah and I were inspired to do this from Nina Simone's quote. The
role of the artist.
of the artist is to reflect the times, and we thought you would be the perfect guest because you're an artist at heart.
Thank you.
And so, how important is it for you to be expressive and take up space as a Leo that you are, as a part of just your beingness here on Earth?
Well, quadruple Leo, quadruple Capricorn.
Quadruple?
OMG.
Oh wow. That makes sense. Sorry,
That makes
This explain a lot.
It explains a lot of your social media presence.
Yes. Quadruple Capricorn, triple Virgo.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Is that really rare? Laura's an astrologer.
Oh.
I'm an astrologer, yeah.
Oh my god, I'll show you my chart later.
That's why I was trying to guess.
Oh.
Is that sounds rare? No, that many.
I mean,
no?
it's not super rare because you were born in 91,
Yeah.
so that was the conjunctions happening in Capricorn.
Yep,
So it's like
yep.
a generational thing.
Okay.
And so I'm sure the pandemic was really fun for you.
Oh, so much
Because it was
fun.
like your Saturn return.
That was my return. Yeah. I mean, I wrote a whole book, and I launched the Blasian March
Right.
all in my Saturn in return.
Oh
so,
yeah, because that was like
yeah.
your maturation point.
Everyone talks about Saturn return like it's so terrible and tumultuous, but
It depends.
it depends how you use it.
Also, Saturn is at home in Capricorn.
Oh, so it's good for certain people?
It's good for certain people to get that, responsibility and that discipline out.
Oh, that's
It's
so
not
cool.
always the bad. It's not always a bad thing.
No, it's also what you make of it as well.
Exactly.
Right. So it was actually a very creatively productive
Oh, yeah.
time for you.
Oh yeah, and definitely back to the discipline. I was like, okay,
You gotta lock in.
gotta lock in. I am reminding myself that being an artist of color is always an act of revolution in this country. And so, the protests were happening every single day. And I was like, I want to go protest every single day. But I was like, how about we balance it out? Protest once a week. Rest of the week is working on the book.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Are you still really active in protests these days?
I am much more selective. I am more like, do I feel spiritually called to be present in this space? Or can I remind myself that my writing, the book fairs I do, the workshops I deliver are just as important?
Yeah, I think so.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, not on the ground, not as flashy,
Yeah.
which is fine.
Yeah.
You know?
It goes back to like the behind the scenes work thing.
It's
right?
the long-term work, and it's definitely been much more humbling. Because it's definitely a reminder that like the long-term work I do, I will most likely not live to see all of its fruits.
I mean, that's...
Which is okay.
Yeah.
I have to be okay with that.
Yeah, that's the thing about everything we're fighting for now is... I think it's very colonized thinking to be like, I want it to happen now, like tomorrow,
Right.
or, you know,
immediate results.
Yeah, and it's like when you really sit with the fact that like it's it's not likely to happen in our lifetime. And I'm thinking generally, hopefully, there's certain things that we will see, but and you ask yourself like, am I going to do the work anyway?
Right, exactly.
And you're like, oh, well, the answer is yes, and it kind of changes how you approach where you're going to put your energy.
Oh, yes, 1000%. It makes me need to slow down to recognize how is this also holistic to me as an artist.
Yeah.
So like for me, I know a couple of years ago, I was in Switzerland, invited to speak at a festival, which was an incredible space. It was a fundraiser for the family of Nzoy, who is a South African Swiss black man who... The year after George Floyd was murdered by Derek Chauvin, he was experiencing a mental health crisis on the train station, and the police killed him. So this entire space was a fundraiser for the family's legal fees. And for me, that was such like this is what I need to be doing. I need to be doing art that is specifically helping other people in this context, or like moving us all towards collective liberation. So the piece I choreographed on myself, it was a ballet on the police killings of Asian Americans. And so I was like, this is a great parallel. The talk back, everyone there was like, we had no idea Asians experience police brutality. I was like, that's model minority myth. I'm so glad that my work was literally to help counter that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where I love that my work has gone towards. It's more like everything I write now, how is this helping move us towards collective liberation? Everything I choreograph, is this also going to put us towards collective liberation?
Yeah. I love that you said that, because I think we come into this space and a lot of people who are activist newbies think that the only thing to do is to protest.
Right.
But then it's actually, how are you using your energy and your time to actually move the needle forward? And I really do believe it's art and storytelling.
Oh, 1000%.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, Angela Davis talks about how art is like foundational to movement work. And like, even when I go to protests, you know, people can give long speeches, but I'm not going to remember what they said.
Right.
But I will remember the art. Like, I remember there was a memorial rally after I think it was 1 year after the Elena Spa shooting in Washington Square Park. And there were a lot of speeches, you know, I remember people's faces, but the part where I started to like just start sobbing, I was like breaking down. Everyone was like, oh my God, Rohan's crying. I was like, what's happening? But it was this Korean drumming group, and they were like drumming around.
Oh, those drums.
Yes.
Always does it for me.
Yeah. And they were drumming around this altar that folks had like put together. It was an altar of like the ghost food and their photos, but it was all like massage, like tables, massage, like those like dividers. That broke me down. I was like, this is breaking me. Like,
what do you think about? I think that too. Like, especially also witnessing what's happening in Gaza and the images that I'm sure we're all seeing, and I'm not desensitized to them. Like, they still are horrible, but I'm able to control my emotional response to that. Like, I'm not necessarily going to burst into tears if I'm like looking at my phone, I don't know, like in line at a coffee shop or something. But it's those acts of humanity, heart-driven empathy, like when something's been transformed into this like artful like expression that makes me cry too.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's an offering. And the transmutation, right?
Transmutation, exactly. Like the way I've experienced art as organizing, it's like, you know, we are so stuck in these colonial languages, these colonial structures. Art, even though obviously we have to use colonial mediums, art somehow allows us to escape those things. Like in the Blasian March, one of our protest chants is literally collective singing. And it's like, structurally, it uses like call and response, which comes from a lot of like African Afro-diaspora structures. But then harmonically, it's pentatonic, which is borrowing from East Asian musical structures. So it's always really cool when I get to see people like singing like justice for Black people, justice for Asians at each other in community. And I'm like, because especially in collective music, there's actually, it releases hormones in the body. So there's so many things that art can take us out of language barriers. It takes us out of these boundaries of race that were constructed by colonization.
Whenever I'm in a protest, yes, they could be permitted marches. They're so cathartic for me, honestly. And I've told Leah this because as an adult, you're not given the space to just yell and crash out. And I look forward to going to these because I usually march behind the Notudal collective. And they always have the Korean drums. And I'm literally, I start screaming and I just start bawling because it's the one place where, I mean, you could cry on the subway in New York. No one's going to say anything to you. But still, it's a way to get out all of this suppressed and repressed emotion that we have to act like everything's okay all the time.
And it's going into a field of receptivity of like it's like a mutual thing. So there's something that happens in that.
And people are witnessing you and supporting you and it's just there's some healing in it.
Right. Our culture is so capitalist, and capitalism is based on isolation.
Yes.
As is colonization. It's based on our individualized suffering. So we're in these spaces, we get to actually like have an opportunity to find community, to find that release. And like you were saying earlier, for a lot of folks who are new to protesting, protests are essential. They are essential to the community. They are essential to mobilizing, obviously, but it's a tool in the toolbox. Not the toolbox itself. And for a lot of folks who are new to organizing, I always say look up Deepa Iyer's Ecosystem of Change map.
Oh yeah, that's really good. Yeah. It's good. When you talk about that a lot, right? Like
find your role.
Find your role in the revolution, and like
and
everyone
roles are fluid. Roles change. And put your joy at the base.
Well, I think that's the antidote also to burnout. When you find your joy and you're like, and I think that's what happens when you are in any sort of creating, whatever kind of art or whatever you're creating. I think people gardening is also this like very radical act. I mean, literally, because radical comes from root, right? But you don't burn out when you're doing something that comes from joy, that is feeding your joy and your humanity. And I think that's what can be missing from something like only using one tool in the toolbox.
Right, exactly.
But it's hard too because especially within like the first, probably year after like waking up to what's happening in Palestine, there's so much guilt to do anything that brought joy. It's like, how dare I, I felt guilty drinking a glass of water.
But
like,
do you follow the trans, I think they're trans activist Alok?
Yeah.
They always say that joy is the only thing they can't take away from us. So it's almost like we have to center that. Because they could take away our rights, they could take away a lot of other things, but joy is something that they can't take away. So I always think about that.
I think that's exemplified also in like the insistence of Palestinians to live, on their insistence to live,
And how some of them use things like dubki. Dance as resistance. Music as resistance. So it's okay. I think we should give ourselves the grace in knowing that we were basically hoodwinked into this really horrible system that is based on genocide of indigenous people worldwide.
Yeah.
We are doing our best
Yeah.
to do what we can here. So like even at the book fairs, I will always have Palestinian literature. You know? So like my joy, obviously, for writers, has to be our joy because the paycheck is not that great.
No, I know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Unless, well,
I like
I will
that.
say some sci-fi fantasy, the advances are very nice, but that's about it.
Well, and I really appreciated that there were so many like Stop Asian Hate or Black liberation movements that have not included Palestine into their conversation.
1,000%.
And I really appreciate that. Anytime I find somebody that has done that, I'm like, oh, thank God, you know.
It's like such the bare minimum.
It is, but it's rare, you know.
And honestly, it's so funny.
Was it ever a question for you?
No. And also, I thank my mother for that. For always, you know, making sure I knew about the colonial occupation of Palestine, the genocide in Palestine.
So you knew from before?
I knew from way before because my mother gave me her keffiyeh from like
What an amazing
back when she was protesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Back when it was the that, and I was just like,
Intifada, the first one.
the first one. So I was like, whoa, wow, okay, this is legacy. Holy crap, thanks,
Yeah.
Mom. But even like with Blasian March, like before October 7th, we had Palestinian speakers. We've always had Palestinian literature. The earliest Blasian marches, we were always chanting Free Palestine. The very first Blasian March, I am so sad I never had the funding or the resources to document things, but we had a written statement from somebody who was in the West Bank during lockdown. And folks from the now defunct Asians for Abolition read out this statement. So we've always had Free Palestine baked into the Blasian March. It was never like a trending topic. Oh my God, Palestine! So I can't say how many DMs we got being like, "Are y'all gonna do anything for Palestine?" I was like, "Girl, we done been."
You're like, scroll down.
Please continue. And to me, I'm also like, well, I'm not a Palestinian, so I don't think it's appropriate for me to be on the front lines right now. What I can do is support as a journalist. I can support by uplifting Palestinian voices. So like at the book fair, having Palestinian literature, like these are ways I think, again, roles are fluid. So like it's not my role right now to be on the front line, but I can still continue to be like on the side, be like, hey, I can support in these ways, or I can like allow people to then see other Palestinian leaders.
I think you normalize Palestinian existence, and that's huge.
1,000%.
I think that is, if people are scared to do things, like at least they could do that.
Right.
You know, like my local favorite bookstore, they have a whole, it's Arab History Month, and they have a whole like table, and it's got Palestinian story authors and, you know, books among other Arab and Muslim identities, and it's just like in a bookstore, you know, and that's powerful. It doesn't have to be anything like overtly political. They're not like, it's not even, I almost appreciate, and not more, I think we need both. You need like the loud support, the protests and all that, but then also just this like, obviously they exist.
Right.
Obviously they're human, you know, like kind of just that, and anybody can do that.
Right.
Without
It's like soft power.
soft power.
That's how like South Korean culture became so popular because of K-beauty and K-pop and K-drama. You know,
Which then became K-protest after y'all's president.
literally.
Truly, I'm always just in admiration of Korean protest movement history. Like, and then
They were locked in and ready.
locked in and ready to go.
Yeah. yeah.
People have asked me that they're like it took y'all 6 hours for him to like retrace his steps and be like, never mind.
Too late, girl.
No.
Oh man, like
Because they're organized and they're ready, and because of the trauma that just happened, because the first martial law that they remembered was 87, right? So I think
it's still a living memory.
it's still a living memory. So I think for U.S. Americans, I think it's not maybe having that historical trauma necessarily, but knowing that it's happening now and to be ready.
But also like the fact that our living memory has been so erased from certain generations.
So erased, like literally out of history books, and you go to school and you're like, I'm learning, I'm learning, but that learning is manipulated.
And I mean, I'm also going to speak from like my experience and how, within the Black community, I mean, also like my immigrant family, it was always like get an education. Go through these PWIs. Like literally.
That's going to save you and keep you safe.
Right. But then of course, anything that aligns with white supremacy, the cost of that is your humanity. So the fact that I had to relearn my history. I had to whereas like with Korean community, I'm looking at these videos, I'm like, the fact that y'all can figure out within like a day who can like send money to this restaurant so that when people arrive to protest, there's food already ready. I was like, what? Like we didn't do that. But again,
it's also collective is culture.
Collective culture, exactly. We're too individualized.
Yeah. It's like I'm not going to help you.
Right. I maybe will Venmo a protester I know who's going.
Right.
But there's no like, we just have a pot of money that everyone just threw something in, and all of a sudden, everything's covered for everybody.
So my aunties who live in the U.S. now, they're telling me to not go to protests, stop wearing my keffiyeh, stop my advocacy. I'm like, no, that's the wrong approach. It shouldn't be. You shouldn't be policing my actions. You should be out with me. You should be wearing a keffiyeh. You should be speaking.
I wonder if there's something with like people who have left the motherland.
But I think it goes back to the
repression.
The individualistic mindset of take care of yourself and not put your body on the line.
That's the Americanness. That's the Americanness that like you absorb.
And it's like ew. Because if we all did that, then nobody would be protected. We're protected in numbers.
In collectivities,
I don't know, that's just how my brain thinks because I've read history and that's usually how good people get away with bad behavior.
And this is why I love the book fair. The fact that I'm giving these children like history books on Black feminists, on Palestine, on Asian American feminists. I'm just like, it's great because I'm like, this is now almost like I'm trying to almost like undo the damage in some ways, but also ground our kids and like you have a history on this stolen land.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I only stopped celebrating Thanksgiving a few years ago. Like I just didn't really know.
My grandmother still does, but she's also with the immigrant mentality. I'm like, happy Thanksgiving, I'm just like, I'm like, out of honor and respect to my elders, I will say happy Thanksgiving back.
You don't say happy genocide of indigenous people day?
Not to my grandmother. No. To other people, I'll say happy Native American Survival Day.
Yeah. I said to somebody, they were like, what do you do? This was a few years ago. And they were like, oh, what do you do for Thanksgiving? And I was like, oh, we don't celebrate. And she was like, because what? I was like, oh, because it's based on the genocide of indigenous people. And she was like, oh, okay. And like, it was so awkward. But I said it kind of like, like tongue in cheek, or I thought I did, but it was very awkward.
It's fine. You did some education work.
Yeah, maybe.
People feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
As they should.
I don't know if she went on to, read anything, but hopefully it stuck in her head a little bit.
Planted a seed, and maybe she went and gossiped to one of her girlfriends or boyfriends or other friends, and next thing you know, they're having a whole discussion.
About you.
This Asian chick.
Always causing trouble.
Good trouble.
Good trouble. Causing the good trouble. Oh, man. Do we want to go to our rapid fire questions?
Yes. I can't believe it's already been an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
Time flies.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Wow, it feels less than that.
Yeah.
Literally.
I'm here. Okay.
Well, we talked a little astrology. Did you share your big three though?
I did not. Oh my God, you're gonna flip. Leo Sun, Libra Moon, Leo Rising.
Ooh, literally double Leo. Wow. Libra Moon, this is your full moon.
Yeah.
Ooh, so
How are you feeling?
It's so funny because I'm literally just like full moons. I can never sleep. It's just.
Oh, and it's tomorrow though, right?
It's tomorrow, yeah.
And that your book fair is tomorrow.
Correct.
Oh, cute.
Correct.
Cute.
So I'm like,
I don't know what that means, but it feels like it's good energy.
I think it's good energy. Yeah, I've been casting so many spells around my writing career. And the fact that this is on the Libra full moon, I was like, oh, my activism and my writing are going to be so tied together, like forever and ever.
Well, you know, Laura's an author, and I have just submitted my first manuscript to my publisher last week. So
shit!
I think it's in the ether.
It's in the ether.
Yeah.
I'm just in the prologue. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm in the prologue.
But your moon is in Libra, so it's a third house moon, which is where the moon has its joy. So that's like very lucky.
Yeah.
I would say keep putting your intentions out there. Keep telling people about what you're doing. It's going to happen. I honestly didn't think that I would get a book deal when I did because the editor found one of my TikToks randomly.
I love
2020.
There you go.
Of all things. And I got a book deal from that. It was just so random. I wasn't even doing a proposal or anything like that. So you just never know.
You never know.
You just never know.
You never know.
Just keep planting the seeds.
Fun fact, my next three planets are all Virgo.
So Mercury, Venus, Mars. Ooh.
And my Jupiter's Leo.
Ooh.
And
okay,
then
that's cute.
Yeah.
That's cute.
And then afterwards it's like Capricorn, because generational.
Yes.
Except for my Pluto's Scorpio.
Yes.
I might give my whole chart. I don't know.
Just give it away.
It's fine. My Lilith is in Leo, which explains so much.
So much.
I wish I knew what they were talking about.
Lilith is shame, right?
So Lilith was Adam's first wife.
Oh.
But she didn't want to succumb to the patriarchy, so they banished her from the garden and called her a demonic frequency and became like a demagogue, right?
Yeah.
Essentially.
Who like eats like children. In some versions, she becomes like a monster who eats children. I was like, okay.
She represents the raw, dark, feminine of going against the patriarchy and But then Eve was like, I'll do it. Sorry.
So yes, I was like, that explains how a Leo will show up in frickin' pumps heels. Like patriarchy.
Literally. Wait, that makes so much sense.
It does.
I remembered how they show up in heels.
Yeah.
I have not worn heels since 2017. So if there was no such thing as capitalism or colonialism, what would you be doing?
Oh my God, I would have my cabin in the woods in the mountains with my two husbands. And we'd be gardening all day.
We have the same dream.
Yes! And my little village of boyfriends down the way. No, I find so much healing in the mountains. It was so funny. One of my other psychic guides, she was like, you love 3, like 3 points, like a mountain, three suns. I was like, yes, this is how I find healing in 3s.
Well, you're a Capricorn. You have so much Capricorn.
So much Capricorn.
So it's a lot of like mountain energy.
Yeah. So like literally whenever I travel, I'm like, let me go to the mountains, let me go hiking in the mountains. So that's
Have you ever been to South Korea?
Yeah, I was to say South Korea is
like
so mountainous.
all mountains.
It's all mountains.
Oh my God. So a couple of years ago, my friend was so wonderful, and he was like, for all of your activism, I'm going to make you my travel companion for a year. So I was flying super cheap, first class, like everywhere. It was so nice. I almost got to Korea because I was speaking at the University of Tokyo, and my friend was like, hey, I'm in Seoul right now. And I was like, ooh, can I fly to Seoul? So I went to my friend, and he was like, I can fly you to Seoul, but to get you back to the States, I have to stand by you through 4 other countries. And I was like, that sounds scary.
Intense.
Right?
Yeah, that's intense.
That sounds like I don't want to get lost in some country I don't have the proper paperwork and blah, 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 blah. So, but yes, so South Korea's been on my list for a very long time.
Yeah, soon.
Soon.
What are your red flags?
I'm trying to counter my biases, but wait, this is red flags like in a man, or red flags like just in general?
Anything
Either
you
way.
would want to interpret that
Okay.
question.
Red flags for a man. He doesn't read. It's so elitist of me, but like when I walk into a man's house, I see no books. I'm like,
No, it's a good one. No. It does tell you a lot.
I mean, yeah, and, like reading isn't for everybody. Some people learn visually, so I'm trying to like counter my own biases against like bibliophiles, but I'm just like,
That's a red flag.
gosh, other red flags. I really don't like when people have like, I really can't deal with like my way or the highway types. I don't know. Maybe it's my like
Leo.
Like,
Because you want it to be your way.
correct. Yeah, that's a red flag. Another red flag is not having diverse friends.
Ooh, yes.
That's a big red flag for
Yes,
me.
yes.
Huge red flag.
So I'm like, well, if you're not surrounding yourself with people who are not like you, how are you growing?
Getting checked.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Humbling yourself.
That's a really good one, actually. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, obvious red flag, voted for Trump. I'm like, that's what I was saying at this point. But I guess those are my big red flags.
Those are good ones.
Those are really good ones.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You want to do one more question?
Well, the book one is mine too, just in people in general.
Yeah.
I was like, how do you learn then?
I know.
You know?
TikTok.
Yeah, but TikTok too. is
You
like-
learned a lot from TikTok.
Yeah, I've learned
Yeah.
but because of my algorithm.
Right.
I feel like there's so much misinformation. I guess
Yeah.
there could be misinformation in books too, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
But
I
it is,
feel like
but
with books, you have to like intentionally.
yes.
find
Yeah.
certain
It's a
books,
different.
invest money.
It's a different absorbing information process for
Yes.
sure.
And there's more liability if it's
Yes.
misinformation in a book. Because the
Yeah.
publisher does not want that misinformation on their watch.
That's
Whereas
right.
with social
Yeah, it's
media, it's open game.
Yeah. Anyone
it's
can put
true.
anything there.
There's no accountability.
Yeah.
Yeah. We already asked what you wouldn't do during capitalism, red flags.
Right. How will you know liberation is here? What would
What
it
are
look
the
like?
signs?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
Because we're co-creating, right? We're
co-creating.
like creating that.
When everything is 100% accessible, when we stop destroying the earth for resources, when we recognize that there's always bounty and collectivity, and when all universal housing, universal healthcare, I think when all those things are in place, when there's no longer a need to protest
Yeah.
because we have everything we need.
And we could just party instead.
we're not like
Exactly.
resisting anything.
Exactly.
That's nice.
It's really
like
nice.
That vision.
One day. I'll be in the mountains with my three husbands. Whatever. Two husbands. Whatever. Who's
You added
counting?
one.
It's fine. A third one popped up. It's fine.
Got into silent laughter. You know when you go into silent laughter?
It's so funny how so specific that image is, and I was like, I've always been like, why settle at one husband when you can have two
Correct.
to support you?
In this economy? Oh my
I
gosh.
just want to be taken care of now. I'm done
Absolutely.
with girl bossing.
Yeah.
You know?
That was a trap.
It was a trap.
Too much.
It was a white mythology. It was a
I'll
pressure
have my
point.
city husband and my country husband.
I have my doctor husband. I have my lawyer husband. I have my airplane husband. It's fine.
Airplane husband.
One of the best to have healthcare.
One has healthcare.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank
for being
you.
on the
Thank
job.
you, thank
That was
you.
so fun.
That was so fun.
This was amazing. Thank you all so much for having me.
Bye.